I'm Rob Inglis, and this is my Ultra4 car. Okay guys, today we are going to install the front sway bar. We got a sway bar given to us from William McGibbon. We picked up a tow rig from him. He was generous enough to give us his old sway bar out of his old TMR car. So we're going to retrofit it into the front of this car. Typically you see them mounted off the front and pointing down, like right off the front here, and then it'll come down and mount to the axle here. But I think with this build here, it's gonna make the car look really funny if I was to have a sway bar come out, because I'd have to build a tube, I don't know, probably from here to here, and then it wouldn't look right. So I like the way it looks now. So we're gonna install it coming through the back. Right at the back. So my bar is going to slide through the back just underneath the orbital valve here. And it's actually going to come out, and then the arms will be facing backwards. It's the only kind of spot I could fit it without putting it on the front. So come on. Come on. Let's go like that. Come on, you fucker. There we go. She'll slide in there. Like voila. So it's gonna sit something like that. Just show you quick. It's gonna sit something like that, and I'm just gonna build a piece of tube that is just gonna hold the bushing. I'm not gonna put a tube all the way across, just because it's so tight in here. So I'll just put a tube just on each side, just to hold the bushing, and then we'll come down. I'll build a little mount, probably just off the side of this bump pad here. Something like that. Okay guys, we're just mounting the front sway bar here, and I needed a bracket to obviously hold it in. So this is what I've come up with. We just drew it up on the plasma, we did a test cut, and I like it. The only thing I didn't like about it is I was originally gonna cut 4 and have 2 per side, but it gets pretty crowded on the other side with the orbital valve there, so it's gonna be kind of hard to weld them all in. So we're just gonna go with one thick one that goes in the bottom, and then we'll just add a gusset in the top to keep everything straight, and that will be good. And I did do a little trick here to keep everything straight. Since I'm not doing a full straight across tube all the way across the sway bar, I had to figure out a way to keep this tube straight and straight with the other side. So I had some old bushings kicking around from an old sway bar, so I stuck them in the other side of the tube. And then I just took 2 pieces of some other tubing that fit inside. So I cut some tubing that just happened to fit on the inside of the bushing. And then to get it on there, since it's a smaller diameter than the outside, I had to cut it in half because there's obviously no way I could get it over top. And then just cut 2 sleeves so they slide inside, and now it keeps that tube perfectly straight. And I did the same thing on the other side, so it keeps everything symmetrical there. So here's the piece that Danny originally drew. If you want to have a look on the computer, see what it looks like in Mach 3. She had to draw it up on Fusion 360. We have just learned everything off of YouTube. Nothing real fancy going on here. We're beginners, so here we go. Fire in the hole. We got no air. Haha, rookie move. I'm glad we got that on camera. Just kidding. So we didn't have our air line hooked up, so when it went to fire, nothing happened because we had no air. Rookie move. Take two. Do I have the ground hooked up? Fuck up number 3 here. We went to cut, it started, but then it cut out halfway through each circle because we didn't have our ground hooked up. So we're gonna try this again. Rookie move. I don't think it's cutting through. Not working. Okay guys, we're finally back. As you can see, I'm wearing different clothes because we're on day 2 of this project. I don't know if I'm just really slow at doing things, but it seems like every project I take, it takes way longer than I think it should take. That was good. Fucking nailed that one. Anyways, the sway bar is all finished. You can see, remember, we cut these mounts. This is what I used to mount the sway bar. So it just mounted underneath those. We cut them out of some thicker material, so I just needed 1 mount per side. Welded them underneath the chassis here, and then I just built some gusset with a simple dimple die in it and welded it all in. And then we just made a tab down at the axle that it bolts onto, and pretty simple. The reason why I didn't go with a full bar across like a typical sway bar would is because there's no clearance here at the back of the firewall. And I wanted to push the sway bar as far back and as closest to the firewall as I could. So I just chose just to not run a full tube across. It doesn't need to be covered. So yeah, it worked out. It's really close. And it's also really close to the orbital valve. We're probably thousandths of an inches away from contacting the universal joint there. So yeah, all done. We got kind of carried away and I finished all my body panels up front too. So yeah, stay tuned.